Oh no!
What? You ripped a dog?
I ripped a dog.
Dog casualty.
Man, well, you know what they say, prepare for the worst or something like that, right?
We got an extra dog right here.
What if I'm up on stage and I get a ripped dog?
I mean, that seems like in your favor. Because it's like smaller piece.
I don't think so, because I'm very monotonous.
Prone to dropping stuff too.
Yeah, so I don't know about that ripped dog. So, be in my head this entire time.
I'm pretty sure these dogs have been in our freezer since last 4th of July.
Yeah, we got like 300 hot dogs or something like that. And,
yeah, whatever $800 worth of hot dogs is, that's what we got.
Yeah. I don't know how to room here. So you know it's gonna be a good practice. We got the Coney Island natural casing. The official hot dog of the nation's hot dog eating contest. This is what we eat on the 4th of July. So when you practice, you want to practice as close as you can to game time situations. That's why we got the official hot dog. Now it's a lot cheaper and a lot easier to not go with the official hot dog. But I don't know. I want to practice like I eat. So here we go. 30 hot dogs. Is this, are we sure this is 30? This looks like 35.
I don't know. You were the one who counted me.
Nope, it's 30. 30 hot dogs. Ready to go.
Are those dogs hard to find?
Yeah, they're extremely hard to find. In order to get these hot dogs where we live, I had to go to the grocery store and talk to the deli manager, and he ordered them specifically for me. So, yeah, they don't even have them on the shelf, but he hooked me up.
What's the difference between this one and just the all beef ones that you can get?
So the difference is these are naturally cased, right? Traditionally, these would come like extreme together like these, and you'd have to pull them apart. And the natural casing is like a skin on the hot dog. It gives it a snap. If you ever ate like a Slim Jim, it sort of feels like that when you bite into one of these. So I enjoy it. I don't think I ever had a natural casing hot dog before I started doing this contest. And then after doing the contest, I couldn't go back to a non-skin hot dog.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
How do you think that affects the eating?
I think they're harder. I think they're a lot harder to eat. So if these were skinless dogs, they were beef franks like your typical Oscar Mayer or whatever, I think the numbers would be way higher. I mean, look at these things. They're long, they're tough, they're skinned. Yeah. You can see I'm an idiot. Oh.
Yeah, I offered Ronnie a spatula, and he said, no way, I'm going to use my fingers.
I never use a spatula. However, I should probably start.
I think so. I mean, considering this thing is at 350 degrees and you're just poking your fingertips on it.
Yeah, but this feels faster. I'm becoming one with the dog right now.
I thought I use a fork or something.
What I need is actually, I need these hot dogs to hurt me. So I eat with anger.
You're gonna hurt them right back?
Yeah.
They're browning up pretty quickly.
Yeah, they are.
What's your ideal manner to have a hot dog cooked? Like, I know that they are going to cook them whatever way when you do the contest, but like if you had to cook them to your own liking, you want them like a little charred?
Yeah, I do want them a little charred. I think the skin breaks a little bit easier. I think a lot of times the amount of hot dogs that they're cooking, the hot dogs we get are a little undercooked. So yeah, I would like them a little bit charred. I would like them hot and fresh. So what we're going to do with this practice is that, you know, these are going to be done cooking here in a couple of seconds. And then we're just going to let these bad boys sit for like 30 minutes. So we're gonna practice just like a game time situation. You know, on the 4th of July when they make these hot dogs, you gotta understand these hot dogs are cooked before our introductions. Our introductions take about 10-15 minutes. Once we get on stage and set up our cups, it's another 5 minutes. You know, getting them from the grill to the stage is probably another 10 minutes. So these things have been, honestly, probably on the 4th of July have been sitting out longer than 30 minutes. But we'll let these sit for about 30 minutes before we dive into them. Check out this gimmick that we got in New York City at like a dollar store or something like that. Basically, this is just, I think this is used to make tea or something like that.
Yeah, it's an electric kettle. Yeah. I put Ronnie onto this because part of our pre-competition stress used to include like sprinting around to different coffee shops to try and find hot water and then keep the water hot enough till the time that we got there. A lot of times this water has to sit for like hours.
Yeah, pretty much. So like she said, we go to coffee shops, we get the big bags of coffee. A lot of places wouldn't give me hot water. They'd be like, oh, no, we can't do that, because they were probably scared I was going to burn myself and sue them. Like, I don't really blame them for it, but now we got this gimmick that heats up my water for me. We have a thermos that I keep losing. I've lost like 6 of them, so I keep leaving them at contests. But since we're just going straight from our counter to outside, we don't need the thermos today. But yeah, I mean, the hot water, a lot of people ask us what the water's for, why we dip our buns in water. You want to use hot water because it matches your body temperature. And if you have a cold water, it's actually going to shrink your stomach. So your stomach's like a big balloon. So we use hot water to keep our stomach stretched out. And yeah, it's pretty much the science behind it. The official bun girdle of Megabyte Ronnie. It's Megabyte Ashley. How many years have you been doing this now?
5?
5 years.
Maybe 4.
4 years.
The first Nathan's I went to, I believe, was in 2019.
Right. What was your thoughts the first time you did this?
Well, it's lucky I'm not grossed out easily, especially like by puking.
Yeah.
But the noises, I think, was like disturbing the most, and the amount of mess that you make too.
The like what, the squishy wet bun, is that what did it? Yeah.
Yeah, and then like you were getting a lot of like water slop on the floor, and I know we were like inside too. There's like so many towels.
Yeah. That's why we do these outside now.
Although I think a lot of the time when we were practicing inside, it was winter time.
Oh yeah.
So.
I don't know. I don't feel like I was doing a lot of practices in the winter.
It definitely wasn't nice out.
Yeah.
There's 25. I guess this will be the final plate. I'll tuck this little. It almost looks like 2 hot dogs now, the way it cooked up.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna tuck that in the very last one, but maybe you'll get 2.
Okay.
Reject dog.
The reject dog. I think you got one of those running around here somewhere.
He's a good dog.
Alright, y'all, we're gonna get these hot dogs outside, we're gonna get my water ready, and then we're gonna eat.
Put it in, put it down. Can you believe you got called a reject dog? You're the best boy. Who's the best boy? Here's the carpet he ate earlier though, so maybe he is a reject dog. I'm filming.
You're filming?
Yeah, start setting up.
put the leg down?
You have to. That's why I said that sounds boring. Normally I set this up. Ronnie thought this would take 2 seconds. He's probably about to crack the table by stepping on it. You probably shouldn't be doing that. Hey, you probably shouldn't be doing that. Do you want me to do it?
Nope. Already got this side. I can do this.
Yeah, you can't fold it without collapsing the legs. Probably should have took down those weeds earlier.
Seems pretty level actually.
Okay.
We're good.
All right.
And it's still alive, and he's gonna torture it for hours, and I can't watch him do it. Probably needs to be put out of his misery, but I can't do that either. I don't know. What do you think? What would you do? What would you do? I can't.
I'm about to eat 40 hot dogs. I can't really.
Oh my god. Nope, you can't do either.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out. Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
Boom, what is up guys? It's Megabyte Ronnie and we are back at it again. Now I tried to get that audio turned up right before we got into this. I don't know how many of y'all heard that, but basically my neighbor or somebody in my neighborhood had wrestled away a chipmunk from their cat, and they had brought this chipmunk up to me and they were asking me to put it out of its misery, and it just completely threw me off. And I was like, you know, I was so prepared for this hot dog practice, and I didn't really know how to react to that situation. So I just told her, hey, I can't do it because I got some dogs to put in me. So yeah, weird world out there. You know, you never know what's gonna happen to you. So yeah, anyways, back into it. We are a minute and 48 seconds into it. I think I'm closing in on probably about 10 at this time. So the reason we're doing this is because we just finished up the Nathan's 4th of July eating contest about a month ago, and I did terrible. I did really terrible. I did 16 hot dogs and I was not proud of myself. So you know, if you fall off the bike, you pretty much have to pick yourself up and get back on it. So that's what we did here. I just wanted to redeem myself to myself, I guess. I didn't really, you know, I'm not really doing this for particularly any reason. I don't know, I just wanted to get back on the bike. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys enjoy this for a bit, and I'll be back with you. There we had a little bit of a mishap. I dropped my bun completely in the water. So if you're looking at this and you're wondering, so this blue stuff, I'm struggling to find a new water flavor. So I had always used a specific brand's strawberry kiwi water for the past, I don't know, 10 years. And they stopped making it a couple years ago. And ever since then, I've really struggled with nailing down a flavor of water that I want to dip my buns in. So I had two flavors here. The blue one is blue raspberry lemonade, I believe, and the red one is a strawberry kiwi from another brand. I don't think I'm going to be using any one of these flavors going forward. The blue raspberry sour was not a very enjoyable experience. So one of the reasons we use flavored waters is to not have flavor fatigue. So you get a lot of saltiness from the hot dog. So when you dip the bun in water and you get a sweet flavor, it sort of balances that out, and it makes it a lot more enjoyable. But that sour taste really put a wrinkle into it, so I don't think I'm going to be using that blue raspberry too much anymore. So at about the 4-minute mark, I was at 15, and they say at about 4 minutes you probably are about halfway to your total. Actually, it's probably about 3 minutes and 30 seconds. You're about halfway to your total. So I probably should have finished this one with more hot dogs than what I did. I'm really struggling to eat once I start feeling full. So I'm trying to do different things to get better at that. As you can see, I'm starting to reach for that water here. Once you start reaching for the water, you're in trouble. So the week we went to go film this, I had a lot of mishaps. I actually went down to Syracuse, which is probably about an hour and a half, 2-hour drive from my house. And I went to go do a challenge, but I couldn't do the challenge because the restaurant was too packed. So I wasted time, money, and gas going down there. And then I went to go do this challenge, and because we were outside for so long, my main camera overheated and shut down probably about right around here, and that was a distraction for sure, knowing that the camera shut down. Luckily, I've switched up and I've started using a secondary camera, which is a GoPro that I have right here on the table, and I think this is a really cool shot for you to see, and I'm going to be using this a lot more going forward. I just sort of wish. Oh, look, the wiggle. Yeah, I had to get those things moving. They were stuck. Yeah, so I'm gonna start using this GoPro a lot more going forward. You know, looking at this, I feel very frantic. I think I was just trying to force the issue more, trying to get them down instead of focusing on my technique. And speaking of technique, I actually, you can see the hot day is getting to me. I got sweat all in my eyes and stuff like that. But speaking of technique, I was trying a new technique here. So what most people do is they do 2 wieners and 2 buns. They kind of, how they do that is kind of different sometimes. Most people will take 2 wieners, eat half of both, dip a bun, wash down the 2 wieners with 1 bun, finish the other half of the 2 wieners, and then wash it down with buns. So what my thinking was, I was thinking that I was just struggling getting down that amount of food because of the skin on these hot dogs. They're naturally cased. And I've always said this, I'm not the fastest chewer and swallower. So what I was trying to do is I was trying to eat a quarter of a hot dog or a quarter of 2 hot dogs and wash it down with half a bun. And I think that technique is going to be good for me going forward in the later stages of the 10 minutes because it's just easier to get the stuff down. However, I do think it's slower than the other way, which is, you know, half of 2 wieners and then a bun. So I think going forward, when I go back to practice this, I'm going to swap it back to the original technique that most eaters use up until probably about the 5 or 6 minute mark, and then I'll probably switch to this. One of the reasons is I was just fumbling around with my hands too much, and I don't know, I just didn't feel as comfortable trying to do it this way. It's just too much thinking. You know, it's easier to eat half of 2 wieners and a whole bun than a quarter of 2 wieners and half a bun. It's just too much. So we got about 20 seconds here. Try my best to just get it in and get it down. We're going to wind up finishing with 23 here today, which is what I qualified to go with Nathan. So if you think about it, a couple weeks after eating 16 to eat 23, I was pretty happy with it. Hopefully we can get that number up higher for next year. That's the goal. I appreciate you guys coming here and hanging out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you go down and like the video. Make sure you comment on it. Those comments help a lot. Let me know what you think. And yeah, Road to Coney 24. It's already kicked off, baby.